I just pulled the numbers from our local MLS, and 60+% of the agents did 3 deals or less last year. And you know what? After expenses and memberships and gas and marketing, that's not a career. That is a hobby. So today, Alan
and Betsy
are going to talk to you a little bit about the industry and what's going on to help you decide, hey, who do I want to work with? One thing, I pulled the statistics. This is this year, but I actually pulled the last 10 years worth. And did you know that 10 years ago, there were 2,000 less agents and 2,000 more transactions that year than we had last year? So what does that mean? We've got a lot more agents doing fewer deals. So last year, just to give you an example, our MLS says RAIN agents were 10,259. And when you look at that, there were a total of 50,748 transaction sides. So you got to average that out across the board. When you sit back and look at that, it's a pretty low number. It's in the 5 transaction, in that ballpark per agent. But here's the thing. It's not really an average of 5 across the board. First of all, we can keep our lifestyle up in our team. We would not be doing this for 5 deals a year, would we?
Not at all.
No. And here's the thing.
No.
If you have one of those agents,
lifestyle for 5 deals.
If you have one of those agents, what you need to understand is the average agent in their career, if the average is 5, let's take a really good agent that does 15, let's take 20 transactions a year. And by the way, the agents that do 20 transactions a year are less than 10% of the agents in the market. But let's just take the really good ones that do 20 a year. If they've been in the business for 15 years.
You wanted to call that earlier.
I know. If they've been in the business for 15 years, then they've done 300 transactions. Just to let you know, the two of us have done 4,000 plus transactions. That is experience.
I think we're higher than that now, but whatever.
I think we're probably higher than that. I don't know if we've hit 5 yet, but I need to look that up. So here's the deal. 60% of the agents did 3 deals or less. Let me explain that to you. Real estate is most people's largest financial investment they will ever make in their career, in their life, is their real estate. It's a phenomenal investment. Some people are fortunate and they get into investment properties and get multiple investments, and that's how they retire. But here's the thing. Do you want to entrust your largest financial investment that you will probably ever have with somebody that does 3 transactions or less a year? That's like saying, hey, they just found a tumor on my brain and I'm going to go to my family practice doctor to practice on me because he read about it a couple of times and might know what he's doing. He's good with AI. He asks the right questions. Or you get arrested for capital murder, so I'm going to go get my buddy who happens to be a real estate lawyer who does trust and wills and estates to be my trial attorney when I'm on trial for capital murder. That's not the way this should be. Now, do I think we need new blood in this industry? I think it's great to have new agents coming in. I think they should automatically, just like the appraisal industry, have to do an internship and serve on a team for 2 years.
Me too. I don't
so that they could
how
learn.
An appraiser has to do 2 years and we don't have to do 2 years.
I can't imagine. So how they could come in and not do it. Because today, it used to be an agent came on and the average brokerage back in the day might have had 10 to 20 agents in their office, and every office had a broker, and the broker oversaw those agents and trained them and got them and did them. Today, we have offices in our town that have 200 plus agents and 1 broker. We have brokerages in our town with 200 plus agents, and the broker is in Northern Virginia or Richmond, not even locally. How do they supervise?
And they will not answer the phone ever.
How do they supervise those agents? And the answer is they don't. Mm-hmm. It is crazy what is going on there. Here's what happened. First of all, COVID happened. And COVID made it to where anybody that could pass the real estate license, fog a mirror, would get hired and could sell a house, because all you had to do was know how to fill out the paperwork and put a sign in the yard, and it was done. You could sell a house.
We call them COVID agents.
We call them COVID agents. They came in and they've never seen a market like we have today. And the market is starting to show the colors of those COVID agents. The other thing that happened is HGTV, Netflix, Bravo, $1 million agent out there, where they said, hey, I can go do like this, go buy my one sharp looking outfit and red bottom shoes, and I can go over here, and if I look like that, I can go hang out in the office, make a 30-second phone call, sell a $10 million house, get a $100,000 commission check, and I'm gonna love this business. Then I get to go buy my Ferrari or my Porsche or my G-Wagon, right? Then we can go do that, and they are going to just be a rock star in this business. Well, guess what? NAR, I love this. They call us the math of failure. Our industry has, I think, probably the highest failure rate. I can't say it's the highest, but NAR statistics say 75% of the licensees fail in 1 year and 87% fail by year 5. Tell me where us endorses a failure rate like that and hasn't gone to fix it. NAR knows these statistics. These are their statistics. Are they doing anything to fix it?
No, they just want the money.
Because guess what? They make their money. The more agents, the more they make. So guess what they want? They want everybody to have they hope that, down in Florida, they got a lot of retirees with real estate licenses. They hope everybody has a real estate license, and that's their goal. Now, before we go any further, what do we need to tell these people?
Oh, please subscribe, love us, like us.
Because
comment.
Yeah, tell us what you think.
Tell us what you want to hear.
So,
what more do you want to hear from us? I mean, we're a wealth of knowledge.
Here's what COVID and what I call, TV agents has done for us is it took away the hustle. The hustle, going out there, digging in, working hard is what I tell people is I've trained a lot of agents. 1 year I was Educator of the Year for the State Realtor Association. I've trained thousands of agents at every different level. And when I said that Betsy, because she started as a brand new agent 11 years ago, had never sold a house, and I said, I can teach you how to sell real estate. I've had
I sold one house in Florida before that.
9 agents.
So we're all clear. One.
That was my best friend, and I went and took the listing. She really did. Or no, I showed them. But anyway, so here's the thing.
I had a listing too. I just looked up.
I've had 9 agents that I've trained that have ended up making over $1 million a year. And people say, well, if you've trained thousands and only 9 have made over $1 million a year, what's the difference? The difference, the hustle.
Yeah.
It's the work ethic. Who was willing to go do the things and put in the effort to make it happen? And I know everybody can't work the way we do, although I think they could if they wanted to. They
Everybody
could
can
find a way to make it happen.
It's a hard hustle.
But I think they could. I think you can find a way to make it. We've got some phenomenal people on our team right now.
Oh, we do.
That didn't have a sphere of influence. And, Megan didn't have hardly any sphere of influence, got into the business, brand new agent. I said, you got to increase your contact with people that want to buy or sell a house. We're going to find a way. You know what she did?
Agents too.
100 open houses in 100 days. Guess what? She's got a pipeline now, and she's flowing, and she's going.
Pushing it.
We got
oh my God.
Morgan, who moved here from out of the area, didn't know
other coast.
Yeah,
other coast.
from Washington State, transferred here because her husband's in the Navy, didn't know a soul here, is killing it on the team because she came in and she put it. By the way, 2 small children, busy life, everything.
Nothing holds her. Nothing stops.
Neither one of them. Nothing.
No excuses.
Is starting.
No excuses.
So that is something we need you to know. So anybody could do it.
I mean, Sean Trump been an agent, but came over to the team.
Yep. Came over to the team. So here's what we got to have. The hustle is what makes the difference. The hustle is the difference. When I look at this chart here, 10 transactions or less, 85% of the people. Of the agents. So guess what? you shouldn't even be talking to anybody. To 85% of the agents out there, you should not even be having a conversation with them. Because if they're not over here on this side, which is 11 transactions or more, they don't have the experience. They're not getting the experience that they need to do the right thing for you. Because this business, I tell people all the time, it is simple, but it is not easy. And it is not easy because every transaction is different. Every transaction has a twist or turn. And guess what? If somebody has been in the business for 10 years and they've been doing 3 deals a year and they've only ever had 30 transactions worth of experience, are they going to have seen those transactions that are tough? And guess what's happening now? The transactions are getting tougher.
Oh my gosh, the transactions for the past like two to 3 years have been freaking
It is not
brutal.
COVID anymore.
Brutal. I mean, how many times have I sold the same exact house? Oh, gosh, 2, 3, 4
And
times.
Tons of problems and issues because what has happened is during COVID, prices were screaming through the roof. Sellers were getting more than they ever thought they would get. They were getting multiple offers and more than they'd ever get. So if something small came up, if there was an inspection item came up at the right before the closing, the sellers would be like, that's fine, we'll take it. Or the buyer would be like, we don't care, because they had already lost 4 contracts they had written on 4 of their houses. And so they weren't going to lose this one. They were going to get it because they knew there was a line of backup offers. And so everything just closed, even with the problems. Some of them shouldn't have closed that we're now 4 or 5 years later starting to deal with some of those problems because when they bought it. But guess what? We know how to deal with those. We've seen it before. I tell people we cannot stop problems from happening in the transaction, but we can tell you we've probably seen it and we know how to fix it and what our best avenue is to go. We can't stop problems because guess what? Usually on the other side, we're dealing with one of these 85% of the agents that shouldn't be having their agent. That's the number one reason that we have problems on the other side. I promise you it is. It's the agent on the other side causing the problems, either because A, they didn't prepare their client for something that could happen, or B, they didn't know this could happen, or C, they just outright told them something totally wrong.
We can release it anytime. 2
Yeah.
days before the clock. No, you can't release. But what do you mean? What do you mean? All we're going to do is lose our EMD. No, that's not the way it works.
So
You sold more than 2 houses, you know that.
what you want, it's kind of like, if you have that tumor on the brain, do you want that guy that does 1 brain surgery a year, or you want the guy that does 2 a day? Guess what? Guess who I want? I want the one that does 2 a day, because I trust if they're doing 2 a day, they're the best and they know what they're doing. And if something goes wrong, they know how to fix it. They've seen it before. So when you're looking for agents, you don't want that agent that does 3 deals a year. You want that agent that does 3 deals a
And
week.
this is what, and this is where it goes to, there's a huge conversation, and I talk to my clients about it all the time, especially now since August the 17th of 2024, where you look at it, and please, by the way, subscribe to us, like us, love us, if you really like what we're talking about. We can come up with some more things to talk about. We always like suggestions from you, but this is a big one to me. Are real estate agents overpaid today? So in my opinion, the answer is yes. So if you're not me.
Here's the thing, like Betsy said, if you are looking at these agents over here, I do feel they are overpaid because you are not getting the experience, the team, the service you deserve for what you're paying. If you can pay us.
Yeah, right. Here's the thing, and this is what I tell my clients. When I go in and I'm doing a listing, or when I go in and I'm doing a buyer consult, here's the thing. Commission's always been negotiable, right? However, people have had it in their heads that there's this fixed rate. But when you go into the military, you start out as, depending on whether you're enlisted or an officer, you start out as an E1, you go up to like an E9, right? Okay.
Very good. I'm proud of you.
So here's the thing. When I started out as a real estate agent, and I was paid 3% brand new as a buyer's agent to show this house. But this super experienced person over here was paid the exact same amount. And maybe they were paying an ops person and a marketing person. And they were paying their broker, because remember, half of these people today are paying zero of their commission out to, because they're,
Right. Well,
they're
I got
100% companies, okay? They don't believe in paying anybody.
Right.
So then they're not paying anybody to do they're doing all of this stuff themselves. So they're paying nobody. And this is their first house they've sold. Do they deserve the same amount as somebody who's majorly marketing your house and doing all of the things to get it ready? And by the way, making sure that you're 100% taken care of, and you seamlessly just sold your house and you didn't pick up you did nothing. So when I get done, I'll never forget, one of my super high-end luxury clients said to me, Betsy, I've sold and bought a ton of houses, but never in my life has it been that when we picked up the phone, and Alan, you actually went on this one with me, but it was in Bay Colony. We went on this listing, and it was interesting because they super wanted to negotiate my commission, big time. And so I said, look, I mean, I really can't negotiate my commission because I'm paying all of these people. I mean, it's just not the same.
Right.
We bring in this kind of marketing, we do this and we do this, and I just don't negotiate my commission. I'm just not that kind. I might not be for you, but this is how we work. So anyhow, at the very end, when we were done with everything, house was sold, they were moved to Florida. He said, and they got an incredible outcome from the sale of his home. He said, wow, I just want to say, in every house that we bought and sold, it never was that we sat down, met with you guys, and we never did anything else. It was the easiest transaction of our entire life. From moving to doing everything, we literally never did anything.
Right.
He said it was a concierge, was his word, concierge experience that everybody should have. Well, the problem with real estate is it's not a concierge experience. There's actually a broker in town right now that doesn't believe that they should be allowed to recommend you,
Yes.
anybody, to help you with your inspections.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up. We just heard this last week, through the grapevine. A major broker in town is telling their agents, don't recommend vendors because we don't want the liability if the vendor takes off or the vendor gets their deposit and doesn't finish the job, or if the vendor does a bad job. And they are the basically biggest number one company
They are
in
the number
town.
one company in town.
And so they say, we don't want our agents recommending vendors. We, on the other hand, we're the opposite. You know why? We vet our vendors.
They've been with us for most of them for 5 to 8 years.
We use our vendor. We want to recommend vendors to you so you don't get taken advantage of. They're saying, hey, you're on your own. Go out here, do the best you can. We're saying that's what we're going to. That's what they're saying. And we're out here saying, no. Come to us because we have this list of vetted vendors
that we allow in our personal house. We give the code to our
We don't
door.
make money. They're not paying us to recommend them. We want these vendors because they are quality. And the other big thing in this that a lot of people don't know is the 800-pound gorilla out there, ugly gorilla, Zillow, is like out there in the world, and they're selling leads, and they're taking 40% of the commission from these agents. But what we find, and we find this constant, we're finding it at open houses and we're finding it at showings. These agents that are Zillow agents are running out and meeting the people at the open house, because if it's an open house, they're not getting the document signed in advance, or they're meeting them for the first time showing. We are seeing at open houses, my team told me this at the team meeting this week, that they are having agents show up at an open house, say, my client will be here in a minute. The client walks in and they turn around and they introduce themselves to the client because they've never met them before because they were a Zillow lead. I am here to tell you, if that is how you are getting your agent, you are setting yourself up to lose for lots of reasons. A, Many times they are highly inexperienced because they give those leads down the team. That's how people are cold calling, and they're just calling these leads. The other thing about those leads that you're going to find out is quite often for us, if we get multiple offers on a house and we are a little concerned about one, and we can tell that we have this inkling that maybe they don't have they're a Zillow lead, we're going to ask the agent on the other side, where did you get the buyer from? If it was a Zillow lead, they just slid down in priority on those offers because we know they don't have a relationship. And if something goes sideways, there's no trust. They can't accomplish what we can accomplish. And so that concerns us for our clients when Zillow lead buyers come into the system. So we're here to tell you that is how you end up with one of these agents over here is by going through Zillow. When you go on Zillow, the button there doesn't click go to the listing agent. It goes to a Zillow referred agent. So
until next time, it is Betsy
and Alan from Coastal Virginia. See you soon.